Alright, I just finished work as teacher Matt, and I wanted to make a video because I was laughing at all the comments about Lloyd Evans in the Watching Watchtower group, uh, with the frustration of him not supporting aggressive activism, and I'm going to go over why that is. Because as of everybody, we are all wired a certain way. Using psychology, pinpoints people with cognitive function, interaction styles, and with their temperaments. Okay, this is where you hear about the 16 types. Everyone has a certain nature they follow and the way their brain is wired. How they use that nature, how they use that blueprint, it can vary from person to person, but it doesn't change the fact of how they're wired, and this is what they're going to do. Okay, so Lloyd Evans is an ESTJ. What does that mean? It means his interaction style is the structure type. It means he's in control, he wants to take charge, and he wants to be the leader. Okay, he essentially is the face of the XJW community. There are some other people you can say have done more, like Paul Grundy, for instance, but these guys are background types. They are not out in the they're not making videos and being interviewed and things like that and doing that forefront, being the face. Okay, because Lloyd Evans is an extrovert. Lloyd Evans loves being around people. He will greet you, shake your hand. He's not shy. He speaks to people directly. He says what he means and means what he says, and he speaks to them in a controlled manner because he's always about teaching them to bring you to a certain outcome. This is what structure types do. They are in charge. Okay, they're all about outcomes, and they're all about initiating, and they're all about informing people to come to a conclusion, with them, and they want them to do it in a most direct way possible. Okay, they're not long-winded or use a lot of words or flower. They're very direct. This is what you need to know. This is what's going to bring you to this outcome. This is how those structure types are. Okay, he is of the SJ temperament, which means traditionalists, the guardians, people who want to keep a system of a community in place and intact. They are all about protecting and honing that system and not allowing chaos to come in and disrupt it. Okay? This is why they don't like aggressive activists, because aggressive activism is disruptive. Okay? Goes against what traditionally is right and wrong in a society. Because remember, SJs are affiliative. They are about right and wrong about the community, about the affiliative nature. He's not going to do it in an independent way. He's going to do it in an interdependent way that's best for everybody. Okay, this is the way they are. They're not pragmatics. Okay, they don't think about that in the way that it's all about the collective. Okay, he's trying to create a society, which he pretty much has, and he's pretty much the face of the XGW community. Okay, so we have the affiliative nature of him, then the systematic nature of him. Look how he writes his books. Everything's about a systematic way. How to escape Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay? That's a systematic book, a step-by-step process on how to get out, because he's trying to make you reach a certain outcome. The outcome is freedom, okay, out of a cult. And so he has a systematic book that's well researched with what works, okay, what has been proven to work. He has looked into the experts to find a system that works best from what he's heard. Okay, we're going to go over cognitive function soon so you understand what I'm talking about that. So it's all about systematic. You look at his book, The Reluctant Apostate, is a systematic book of research, not a flowery, informative book that's like a good storyteller book. Okay, like Amber Scora is informative. Her story is more informative, more storytelling, like that. It's not really systematic. It's more or less, let me tell you my life story and what's going on. And it's a very easy read. Okay, Lloyd Evans' book's more like a textbook. Okay, because he's direct and control. Okay, so he's about outcome. He's about informing in that way, not about telling a story. All right, so let's go over ESTJ's cognitive function. So you got ESTJ. Their main driving force is TE hero. What does that mean? TE is rationale. It is the groupthink of the human collective of thoughts. This is what you find in books. This is what you find in universities. This is what experts are teaching, because this is what everyone thinks is correct. Okay? They collect information from everyone else. You talk about TE heroes. These are people who will literally ask you, hey, what do you think? Okay? They ask a lot of questions, and they also like to make other people smarter because it's all about the collective brain, not about their own personal brain. They are teachers. Okay, they want to make everyone smarter. So you see TE heroes are always going to like some restaurant and say, hey, do you know the history of your restaurant? The cashier's like, no. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you. This is what they do. They initiate that conversation. They inform somebody on some information with their TE hero, and they want to educate everybody on things like this. TE is all about reputation, all about status. He cares about his reputation. Okay, so he wants to have a reputation of a certain standard. Okay, how does he keep this intact? With his SI parent. SI parent keeps him dutiful, traditional, faithful, and comfortable. Okay, so he's doing with what he knows keeps him comfortable. Okay, so he is not comfortable going into a kingdom hall and yelling a bunch of crap in the middle of the room, trying to intimidate people with information about the royal commission. Okay, that's not what he has in mind as a way to do it. He's not comfortable with doing that. Okay, and so his responsibility is all about SI, is being dutiful, traditional, and comfortable. Okay, from his own standpoint. Any child, this is about what everyone else wants. He wants to know what everyone else wants. Okay, and so you look at the majority of the collective of XJWs, most people think that aggressive activism is not fruitful. It does not prove to be beneficial in most occasions. Okay, and so this is the way it is. So everyone in the affiliative collective thinks, TE, everyone thinks, and everyone wants this not to happen like that. Okay, because most people don't feel comfortable going into a kingdom hall and disrupting a religious service which should be kept sacred even if you're an atheist. Okay, because it's disrespectful. What about that? FI inferior. What does that mean? FI is morals. This is not ethics, it's morals. This is your sense of your right and wrong in an internal function. Okay? Lloyd Evans has his own sense of right and wrong. It's not about what everyone else thinks right and wrong. He has his own sense of right and wrong. How do I know this? Okay, I shook his hand and I told him, hey, this is my boyfriend. I did not get 1 ounce of homophobia out of him. Not 1 ounce. I'm more homophobic than he is, and I'm gay. Okay, like literally had no homophobic feelings come out from him. I was very impressed because typically speaking, when you speak to XJWs, you have that issue, which is fine because I don't really care. Inferior function, what does that mean? This means their insecurity. Okay, Lloyd Evans comes across as being very self-righteous, very moral, and very about right and wrong because deep down inside he fears he's an immoral person. He fears he's a bad person. And so this is his driving force. So FI users are feelers, not thinkers, because their driving force is their morality and their insider core of right and wrong. So they find out through collecting through books, other people's thoughts, listening to experts, listening to people of status, you know, and collecting those things, and they come to their own moral compass about what's right and wrong, because deep down inside he worries that he's afraid that he's a bad person, and so he's going to overcome this by being as good as possible, at least in the public eye. And in case you look at his activism, obviously he's all about philanthropy because of this driving force. All right. And so look at his TI nemesis. Nemesis is your worry. This is the antagonist of the protagonist, the hero. And so he worries that he's going to say something untrue. He worries that he might spread misinformation that's not verified. This is why he strays away from conspiracy theories and thinks he cannot prove objectively. ESTJs don't like spreading conspiracy theories. They don't like talking about metaphysics in that sense they can't prove or they haven't heard about in their past research. Okay? This is why he's the way he is for that. The nemesis function keeps him intact. So unless a certain person saying something about Freemasons or whatever like doesn't have the status of an expert, doesn't have the verification or that type of status, he's not going to listen to it because he trusts, you know, PhDs, master degrees, and people who are experts. Okay, because they're all about status. And the last thing Lloyd Evans wants to do is ruin his reputation with spreading something that's untrue. The worst thing he wants to do is ruin his reputation by being an aggressive activist and being an insane apostate that, you know, doesn't believe in religious rights, for instance, because he's all about the affiliative right and wrong. Okay, he's all about being as moral as possible. He does not, he fears being a bad person. So last thing he wants to do is being an immoral person by interrupting someone's religious service. Now granted, this doesn't count for out in the public ministry where people are at the carts, because that's in the public. You're no longer in their church or in their building interrupting someone's service that's an allocated time set. In the public, that's fair game, as you have videos of him confronting that guy at Disneyland. Okay, and that circumstance, because they're in public, in his morality, I guarantee he felt comfortable talking to him in that scenario. This can change and it can vary, and obviously it doesn't apply in the Kingdom Hall. Okay, and so you need to understand how ESTJs think. We won't go over SE Critic and any trickster because it's not really appropriate for right now. FE Demon. He is completely indifferent to how everyone else feels or what other people's ethics are. What does this mean? Remember, his sense of right and wrong comes from an internal source. He creates his own sense of right and wrong based on the information he gathers. Okay? So this is why someone who was raised as a Jehovah's Witness can reject homophobia on his own, because he created his own sense of right and wrong. While an ethical person such as myself might struggle with this because most people still have problems with gay people. Okay? And so you can struggle with that. Remember, ethics is the collective right and wrong. Morality is the internal right and wrong. All right? And so people are saying, hey, he doesn't care about how I feel about aggressive activism. No, he doesn't give two shits about your aggressive activism. Okay? Because he feels it's wrong. He doesn't give a damn how you feel. Okay? FE Demon. This is lowest cognitive function. Does not give two fucks about how you feel. Alright? All he cares about is how he feels. And how he feels is collecting experts' opinions and people of status on what they think is the right way to do it. And the right way to do it obviously isn't aggressive activism in his mind or in the expert's mind. And if you look at the XJW community, alright, most people think aggressive activism is counterproductive. Most people don't want to do aggressive activism. Most people want to sit behind their... I mean, look how many people are freaking Pimo. You know, I'm not going to go on there. Everyone's hiding behind some sock puppet. Okay? Most people don't want to do that. Okay? So he's doing what most people want. He's doing what most people think. Okay? And then he's going to research experts, and he's going to look at past activism from other organizations. Before he started JW Survey, I guarantee he researched other activists. Maybe some Mormon church people, maybe some other activists at the Catholic Church, you know, found out how they did it, took their blueprint and applied it to JW Survey. And then he brings his team together, and I guarantee he's constantly asking, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what's everyone thinking about this? Hey, what do you want to do about this? Hey, what's everyone want? Hey, what's everyone think? Okay, and this is how they manage. This is how ESTJs manage. They're all about what everyone else wants. They don't give a damn about what they want because they want to do the right thing. Okay, so they're going to find out what everyone else thinks, they're going to find out what everyone else wants, and they're going to do the right thing after collecting that data. Okay, so let's just try to have a heart and understand Lloyd Evans in that sense. Lloyd Evans is your English professor. Okay, he's going to have a systematic approach to life. You're going to have to do your homework the way he says is done. Okay, because this is the way traditionally is done, and this is how we have a society and how it's all structured. And so if you want to bring some pragmatic approach that it goes against the grain of what is traditionally acceptable, it's going to get pushed aside and rejected, because that's what SJs do. SI parent, he's responsible, what's traditional, what's dutiful, what's right, and what's comfortable. He's affiliative, he does what's right for the collective. Okay, he wants to know what's right and wrong for the collective. He's systematic. So he's going to follow a process, system, a way of doing things. Okay. The way he talks to people is he's going to be direct. He's going to say what he means what he says. He's going to initiate. He's an extrovert, has no problem talking to people, initiating questions, things like that. He's going to be in control. He's all about outcome. So you see his process. He's going to have an outline for every single one of the video he does because he wants a certain outcome to come from it. He's not like me. He just rambles. Okay, I'm a movement. I don't have control. I'm just going to come out here and freelance. I had no script. This is just me talking. Okay. TE hero. All about status, all about reputation, all about the collective rationale. He wants to know what experts think. He wants to know what everyone else thinks, and he wants to know, he's going to get this through research of books, watching webinars, things like that. Okay. SI parent. He's responsible with tradition, faith, duty, and what he is comfortable with. Okay. SI is all about their own comfort. They want to be comfortable. Look how he dresses. He wears t-shirts, comfortable clothes. Okay. I'm an SI user too. I wear comfortable clothes. It's not my job to entertain other people. It's their job to entertain me. I receive entertainment. All right. Any child, he cares about what everyone else wants in a childlike, innocent way. Hey, what's everyone want? He's going to curiously ask these questions. Hey, what's going to happen? What's everyone want? Okay. FI inferior. He's insecure about how he feels. He's insecure about being immoral. He wants to be as moral as possible. Okay, because he fears deep down that he is a bad person. And so this brings him to be over the top moral in morality and, come across as a pompous asshole, even though he's not. Because, he wants to come across as doing everything is right and wrong, not exactly what, he wants to do, but what the collective wants him to do. TI nemesis. How does he research? He's worried about being wrong. He doesn't want to spread misinformation. Okay, so it needs to be verified. It needs to be objective information. Otherwise, he's going to reject it because he cares about his reputation. Okay, his reputation is sane apostate, stable apostate, truthful apostate, non-conspiratorial apostate. His reputation is everything. Okay, that's just the way it is. FE demon. He doesn't give a damn how you feel about it. All he cares about is how he feels about it. Okay? FE demon is not ethical. He doesn't have ethics. He's moral. Morals come from right and wrong, from an internal source. Remember, if he was ethical, he'd probably be homophobic, being raised as a Jehovah's Witness. But he's not. He chooses what's right and wrong, and he has no problem with it. FI users choose what's right and wrong. FE users get told what's right and wrong, and they collect it from the outside. All right? So, Lloyd Evans is an ESTJ. This is the way he's wired. This is the way he thinks. This is the way he works. He's probably 40 by now. He's going to be aspiring soon. He's going to be getting really into philosophy soon because ESTJs start aspiring to be INFPs later on in life. If he's not doing that already right now, he will later on in his midlife crisis because his mind will do it automatically for him. But he will get more into philosophy, more about coming on with his huge morality. He's going to aspire with his inferior to be the most moral person that possibly can be. And it's going to be all about right and wrong with the collective. Okay? INFPs are philosophers. ESTJs also usually follow in this manner, for that matter. And they're going to be all about what everyone wants. They're going to be about duty. They're going to be about morals. What's right and wrong for the collective. That's what's right and wrong for himself. All right? Hope this helps people.